It's only a model. Shh.
We're knights of the round table, not round the square or triangle. We come to hang and chat like a gang on Fridays as we're able. We play well here in Camelot, we are chums and fun, but Camelot. We're knights of the round table, our host is formidable. He runs his strange, loves insane, but sure he's quite unstable. He's army mad in Camelot, but seems never to have done a lot. Quite incomprehensible, too wrenching, and we have no plan but to sit and hear Dutch babble. It's a lazy time in Camelot.
I have to shake my bum a lot.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the expressed written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
And see it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey everybody! Happy Friday to all you Knights at the Rhomboid table. Yeah. Really? Okay, maybe you should go upstairs now.
No.
Then let's behave. Okay. I've been watching Cayenne today. His mom will be here in a few minutes. Mom is here. Okay, your mommy's here. Okay. Crazy Friday. Again, it seems like forever since I did my last live stream because so much has been happening. If you still don't know, Joyce has pneumonia. She is getting better, but because she's getting better, she's doing more, which makes her tired and feel crappy again. Because somebody just doesn't know when to sit and not do anything. So anyhow, let's get all to the greetings to see who's here. Okay, hey, can you be polite? Okay, let's be quiet for a second. All right, we want to say hi to Sir Andy of 81E, Sir Anthony of Middleport Junction,
Hey,
Sir Colin of Wykes, and we've got the lords from Feldbahn and Schmalspur and International. We have Sir JD from Grandpa Rails, Sir Ian from Model Eisenbahn TV, Sir Ifo Fanzon. We've got Sir Dwight of Curly. We've got Sir Graham from Leamington Station. We've got Sir Leslie Gilpin is here. And people are coming in and going out right and left. We've got Sir Andrew from March West Junction. We got Sir Mick, the official bartender. The royal bartender says the bar is open. We've got Sir Dino, who's been here for a while. We've got Sir Peter Jackson. We have Sir Simon of SJ Train World. We've got the CEO of the Knights of the Rhomboid Table, Sir Tim of Dowd. Sir Tom Houston is here. Welcome in. Sir Simon from SJ Train World. Sir Chris from Valleys 56. I think there's our Sergeant at Arms. Sir Joseph Agliato is here. How soon do you off to China? And did I miss anybody? Sir Colin, I think I did get him.
Can you open the box now?
There's no spoilers with you, is there? Yeah, I will get to opening the boxes now. Let's see, who just came in? Sir Gus Hadley is here. Welcome in. So, hello, all Knights of the Rhomboid Table. Before we get to anything else we're doing... Uh-oh, Mommy's here. Mommy's here. Okay. I just want to take this time out. This week, of course, my other daughter, Elizabeth, has been sick. I've got a bit of a cold that I've inherited from Joyce and my daughter. Kyan has been sick for a week and is just paying his first visit to Opa in over a week. And then we've had several friends of this channel that are sick to various degrees. And I just want to take this moment to say to all of you, we are hoping for the best for all of you. Simon, Greg, Artie, injured his back. Simon, we've been talking to you offline here, and we got a gift. And so many others. Dino, you're in our thoughts right now, and all you and anybody else that is fighting one form of illness or another. Just know we're rooting for you as best we can. All right, crazy man. All right, hey, are you going to be good so we can open the boxes, or do I send you to your mommy?
Good.
You going to be good?
Open
Okay.
boxes.
We do have some things to share with you. A couple of these are a little bit older. No, hang on. A couple of weeks ago, I got these sent to me from our good friend Christopher from Christopher's Hobby Blog.
And I got that one too.
Wait. Okay, you want to show that one? You got to show it up to the camera. Can you put it up there?
It's the big one.
It's a big one. Well, this was a big one. Okay. Let go now. Let go. Oh, dude, you are. And he just sent us all different kinds of business cards and a little Kato Circus little bit here. So that was cool. Thank you, Christopher. Those were awesome. I can add those to my... very few. Okay, I'm going to open the box. Are you going to be a good boy? Okay. So I do have a couple of boxes I thought I'd open wide. This, speaking of Simon, this came yesterday from Simon, but I thought I'd open it live on air. So there's that. You're keeping your fingers away like a good boy, yeah. Right, one of those. Okay. I got it far enough I can rip it by hand. Rip it! Rip it good. Anyhow, we got very cool. We got a couple of beer wagons, Tuborg, and it even comes with the beer drinking figures. So Simon, thank you very much for that. That's cool.
Can I have that?
Can you have that? No, not right now. No. I might share one of the cars with you, but for now, you'll have to wait. But so very cool there. Anybody else come in? Let's go back to, there we go. Now we got the live chat. I'm just trying to see who I've missed while playing around with this. So there's that. So that's cool. And one other box, and it's a big box, but what's in it isn't very big.
It's very,
And-
very big.
Although this, what's in here, and as you can see, it's from Model Bon Shop Lipa. This is hopefully motivation to get me going back on my Fowler car, which I have not worked on in 2 months because other things have come up, and I just kind of hit a point where I still problem solving, and my hybrid was kind of working, but we still have a couple of areas I can't get working, and I can't get it to work. So I took a couple of months off, and I've been building a deck. Okay, you gonna pull all that out of the way, little guy? Paper! Throw the paper out of the way. More 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 paper out of the way. Can you get it? You see the box?
It's a cardboard.
It's a car box!
Is it for me?
No, this is for Opa.
That's for...
It's the new Fowler car. This is the smallest vehicle Fowler now has made for the Fowler car system. So this should be some motivation to get it running on the track and get the track going one way or the other. But yeah, it's a nice little, it's the VW Golf 4, which is currently their smallest vehicle. They announced this and I thought, what the heck? As the technology improves and gets better. So that is that. That's the unboxing. Okay? So sadly, nothing for Cayenne today.
There's nothing for Cayenne today.
Oh, I know. All disappointed. I'm sure you are. Hey, Sir Raymond of Legs is here. How are you? Okay. You got a Hereford Pills beer wagon. That's cool, Mick. So yeah, new beer wagons to go. That's really cool. You just got a 00 golf market. Okay, you ready to go to your mommy? Are you taking off?
You have to do it yourself when
Cayenne?
Say bye-bye, market time.
Oh, you gotta go to the store, Mommy says. All right, can you say bye-bye to everybody?
no.
No, you're not gonna say bye-bye?
Maybe.
Maybe. Give me a hug, bye-bye. Mwah, I love you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Going to the market.
He's going to the market.
Is that yours or Opa's?
Oh, that is not yours. Opa's got to use that to fix that. Hey, Alan, how are you? So, bye, Cayenne. Hi, honey. Bye, honey. So, anyhow, yeah, it's been crazy. So many people, both in this household, in my family, and just out there. Like I said, the biggest is Joyce with her pneumonia. My daughter Liz is finally turning the corner with her nasty cold and respiratory infection. It's just been crazy. And in the middle of all this, I've been building my deck, which has consumed a lot of time. So, be that as it may, that's the stuff. I don't know if Joyce will pop down. She was sitting on the stairs earlier. Hey, Sir Tom Couples, nice to have you here. She was sitting on the stairs earlier. She might pop down for a few minutes, but she clearly does not have a lot of stamina. And so, yeah, I just feel bad that so many people are sick. And it's just been weird because everybody in this house has been sick. I mean, it was probably a common cold that we all kind of were just fighting under the radar. And then Joyce, they'll often turn into sinus infections. And she delayed getting seen about the sinus infection. And then the doctor put her on prednisone, but he didn't put her on an antibiotic. And what happened is, according to her actual doctor, is that when they put her on prednisone and not an antibiotic, that allowed whatever pneumonia bacteria she was carrying to get into her lungs and get her with pneumonia. So yeah, she was in the hospital last Saturday into Sunday, overnight, Saturday to Sunday. Joyce was in the hospital. She had several instances where her blood pressure crashed. That put everybody into a panic. There was they were discharging her. It was 9:30 p.m. and they were putting her out. Like, okay, you can go. We've given you this, we've given you that. And they sat her up, and as soon as they sat her up, her blood pressure machine, because she was still on that, and her heart rate monitor just bing, 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 bing. Joyce is like, I think I'm going to throw up, and I'm feeling faint light. And they laid her back down and said, nope, you're not being discharged yet. And then we had to start the whole process over, and we didn't get out of the hospital. They discharged her at 1:30. We got out about 1:45. So it's been crazy. Hey, Sir Andy, the hot dog pilot. Hey, Sir Randall, how are you? Yeah, Raymond, Joyce is one of these people. She does know her body, but she's also stubborn. And when she really got sick, she delayed, because she knows if she goes to the doctor or even urgent care, as we have in the U.S., she knows she's going to be told she's really sick. And Joyce had work she just could not miss last week. There were too many projects, too many things, and Joyce will work herself to death rather than miss a deadline on a project she's got going at work. And it's silly. After 40 years with the woman, it's one of those things you have to just, eventually she went to an urgent care on Thursday, and she didn't get better. They gave her the wrong medicine at the wrong time. And then, she wound up in the hospital on Saturday. And maybe this time she's learned her lesson, because that was, other than surgery she's had, that was one of the more unpleasant days of being in the hospital. So we'll see if she's feeling up to coming down. And if she does, it probably won't even be for a full hour. She just might come and say hi for a bit. Hey, Sir Dave of Kiwi, how are you? So anyhow, let me show you what we got running today, and everything else can be talked about later. And I'll make sure I get to the floor. I'm running the Amtrak again just because I'm having a blast with it. So, and normally I would have run these trains a couple of more times and then put them away. But the Amtrak, I haven't been down here. I haven't been down in this basement since last Friday. I ended the stream. Joyce and I actually ran out to the store, even though she wasn't feeling great. And then Saturday, I finished the deck and immediately ran her to the hospital. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I've either been working on the deck or taking care of things, and also have to spend half my day preventing Joyce from trying to do anything, because she gets up, I should just clean the living room. No, sit down. You're not cleaning the living room. I had to yell at her the other day. I had some business calls, and she got called, and then I went outside to work on the deck for a bit, and all of a sudden I'm hearing stuff in the kitchen. I'm like, what are you doing? I just thought I'd do the dishes. And I come running in. Leave him alone. Go sit down. But, it's just been crazy. I don't worry about it, but I actually think I do have a spare. I don't have obviously an Amtrak driver, but I do have some drivers somewhere. I'll have to look for them. But once it's in motion, it's really not too noticeable. But is it possible? Yeah. Will it happen eventually? Will it happen soon? Hard to say, because I'm me. So anyhow, I'm running the Amtrak IC3, the fake flag that never was. Then I've got the IC2 double-decker next to that. I am running my Munich-Nuremberg Express with a Class 218 pulling it. I could have done a 101, but I haven't run this 218 in a while, so I pulled that out. My Class 249 is pulling the mixed freight train. And then, just for the heck of it, I've got the Flying Scotsman and some LMS coaches with it. And then way in the back, we're just to throw a different color into the mix, I've got the Nordwestbahn Class 648 DMU back there. So I'm going to go ahead. Kyan had me put some smoke in the Flying Scotsman, so you might see a little bit of smoke here because we were running them early. And trying to convince Kyan I need to stop them so I can set them up for the show, but we'll get everybody in motion as we can. So there's not going to be a very particular order of them going. It's just get them going. And I think there's one more to go, and then the 2 on the floor. But you might be able to see a little bit of smoke coming on the Flying Scotsman. And I've got the play. Now, as anybody from the UK will tell you, the Flying Scotsman sounds are not accurate. This is either a 2-cylinder sound, potentially 4-cylinder, and the Flying Scotsman's a 3-cylinder. I have been educated upon that by many. So it's got the wrong color and the wrong sound chip. But nonetheless, it's still a beautiful model, even if it's not the accurate color. So let's get the 2 guys going on the floor. And on the floor, we are running the Azuma and the Mallard with some LMS coaches, British Rails LMS coaches, that Maroon, which probably doesn't officially go with the Flying Scotsman, but what the hey, it's UK bag, so... Hello, Monsville, how are you? Oh, that sucks, Raymond. So, there you go, on the floor. So we're running a couple of the classics of British Steam. Now, Sir Peter here, fellow Knight of the Rhomboid Table, put up a couple of videos earlier today showing off a couple of other classics of British Steam. 2 really nice videos. Those were cool to see. Yes, Simon, I did notice on the box that they have the little umbrella. So, yes, I did see the little umbrella even without getting them out of the box yet. Because I knew what you were sending me because you sent me the picture. And again, I'm very appreciative. If you really, you know, I would happily pay for shipping, the cost of these, whatever you want. But just, yeah, so, yeah, you can see it's got the umbrella on it. But that's the thing with me. Huh. Wonder why Joyce's computer's acting up. Let's refresh this and see what's going on. Oh, that's why. Little stinker hit the airplane mode button on Joyce's computer behind me. Oh, well, that's cool. Yes, I mean, I was lucky. I got to ride the Azuma Class 800 a couple times. Very nice train. A relatively smooth runner. I don't think I'd put it up to the IC3, IC4s in terms of how smooth they run. But maybe it's not even about how smooth it runs or doesn't run. The seats are not quite as comfortable. They were better than we were told they would be but they're not the same comfort level as some of the other high-speed trains we've ridden. The seats are a little harder, just a little harder. Well, he was putting out some smoke, but apparently he's done now. The seats are ironing boards. I could go along with that. Well, that was me, Andy. I would not have known. To me, only when I got educated, and I've listened to steam trains all my life, and I never paid attention to that they had different cylinders. But once I was trying to figure out and had Leslie Gilpin, Andy, and several other people helping me explain to me the difference in sounds and linking me videos to here's a 2-cylinder train, here's a 3-cylinder, here's a 4-cylinder. I was like, oh yeah, you can hear that. And in some ways I'm ashamed of myself that I didn't notice that, because I can listen to a car and know if a car is a 2-cylinder, 4-cylinder. I can tell if it's carbureted, fuel injected. I can usually tell the difference if it's a Ford engine, a Chevy engine, or a Mopar engine. And I can do that with most motorcycles. I can usually tell, at least up into the 80s, I could tell what brand of motorcycle it was, Triumph, Honda, Kawasaki, Harley-Davidson, by just listening to it. But I just didn't have the passion about trains to care or pay attention. And obviously there are people who do that. And again, I think I talked about last week, but when Märklin released that black and white 218, somebody screwed up and put the wrong sound file, because the Germans and the Europeans, that huge Märklin people, were screaming, that's not a 218 sound on that. You guys just grabbed a 216 sound file and threw it in there. You didn't even care. And I'm like, I could never tell the difference between a 216 and a 218 without somebody heavily educating me on it. But these folks are screaming about it. And when Märklin re-released it, it had the new sound file on it. Plus, they linked a file where you could download. And if you had the ability to connect your chip, like with a Lock Pilot, Lock Sound System, or Märklin now has their programming kit, they put the sound file up and said, here's the proper sound file for you to fix it if you can. Hey, Sir Robert, how are you? And Sir Dominique is here. So, and Sir Charlie from Partick Hill is here. Nice to have you. So, you know, when it's something that you are passionate about, you notice those nuances. I'm not passionate about that aspect of it, but now that I'm aware of it, it upsets me to go, why didn't Märklin get the sound right? Why didn't Märklin, you know, you got all the other specs, why didn't you get that right? And why didn't Märklin get the color right? That's where I start getting upset, like, Märklin, you know, come on, this is a specialty model. It's a in your price range, it's not their most expensive steamer by any stretch of the imagination, but now that I'm aware of the things they got wrong, I look at it and go, it's a beautiful model. But I'm like, wow, they got the color wrong, they got the sound file wrong, and that's just sloppiness. And when you're a fan of Märklin like I am, you don't like that sloppiness. Hey, Von Don Eisenbahn, nice to have you. Oh, the Ziedler house, cool. Now, there are some complaints that real aficionados had that I find are borderline, you're looking for something to complain about. When they talk about, well, the smokestack is a millimeter too big or 2 millimeters too high up. And I go and look at the pictures of the Flying Scotsman as it is today and the model Märklin made. Maybe I can see that the Märklin one is a little higher than the actual model, but it's not even enough where I trust that I see it. Only because people have said it is. I go, well, maybe I can see it. But it's still a beautiful model, and it's a great runner. But wow, they just did not put 100% true effort into it, in my opinion. Well, okay, Robert, thanks for popping in and saying hello. Joyce is getting better. She's not good, but she's getting better. Märklin needs to make an HO scale version of the Père Marquette Berkshire number 1225. Hey, look, I could sit here and list dozens of models Märklin needs to make, but, you know, they're already looking 5 years down the road of what they're planning on releasing. As I've said, one of the odd things, I want Märklin to re-release their ICE 1 and ICE 2 in a newer format with better decoders, with light-up interiors, like the ICE 3s and the ICE 4s. They just keep releasing the same old kits, the 36712 or the Märklin startup kit of the ICE 1, ICE 2, ICE 2. And it's like, come on, Märklin, even if you use the old molds, they're big enough you can fit the new wiring and stuff in it. It's time to do it. I was so devastated when Roco released a gorgeous ICE 1 last year into this year, high end, as good or better than the Railjets in terms of the work they put into it and what it has, but they didn't do an AC version. I was very disappointed that they elected not to do an AC version of that. And it really made me wonder why. Why didn't you do an AC version of that? And probably the way they did the 2-rail version would not be feasible to do it 3-rail. What do I think of it? I think it's okay. I mean, I'm not clever enough. I'm not with it enough to say, well, this company's better than this company in that regard. I think it works. Any stories from the decking? Well, you can hear it in Hungary. Man, you get all over, don't you? That's awesome. Because, yeah, the Magyars have quite a few beautiful trains. They've got... Hungary is a country that's got some great trains, but they're not doing it. Oh, and by the way, to those who are going to watch in the background because you're listening, hello. To Jean Ricard, who's working tonight and can't be on the live stream, hello. And the best thing is I can run my double-decker and not have Jean Ricard typing in, it's running backwards. He'll call me and let me know about that tomorrow. Anthony, I just wanted to tell you that... yeah, Robert, I haven't watched your video yet. But anyhow, I completed construction on the decking. I posted some pictures on my Facebook page. I put in the final railing the day after I posted the last video, and said, when I'm finally all done, I'll do one last video about the deck. And so then I I sanded down the deck and the handrails and everything, just a light sanding, and then I did a deck wash on it. And this was Tuesday, and I was going to put the well, actually, I was going to deck wash it Tuesday, and it was about 7 in the evening. I'd already run out to the store a couple of times, run out and got dinner. And then, so to put the deck wash on, you need one of those hand pump things. And we had one. We had one. So about 7:15, I go out to the garage to get, and I was like, where is it? I was like, oh, that's right. It had gummed up, and we threw it away when we emptied the garage out, when we got our garage redone in the fall. I was like, well, I could run out and buy another one. The stores are open till 10. I just said, nah, I'll do it in the morning. So I sanded everything down, and then on Wednesday morning, I think it was, I did the deck wash, let it set for a couple hours, and then I got the sealant out. And the sealant says you need 3 days of no rain. Well, on Tuesday, they said earliest rain would be Saturday, tomorrow. I was like, good, I got time. So I get up Wednesday. I was like, okay, I still have until Saturday. 3 days is Saturday morning, 2 to 3 days, I'm good. So I put the sealant on. I use Thompson's water seal. I put the sealant on Wednesday. And sure enough, Wednesday night, they say, well, the weather has changed, and we're looking at rain Thursday night into Friday. And I'm just, our weather people, and Joyce is a weather geek, but our weather people lately just cannot get it right. It's going to be sunny today, no rain, no chance of rain, and we're getting rain everywhere. Rain clearing by evening. Nope, rains all day. Expect showers in the morning. Sunny in the morning. They just, even on the short-term forecast, they are, except for 12 to 24 hours ahead, they have just been so off. Yesterday was only supposed to get to 63. It got up to 75. And I don't want to get political. Joyce and I are huge climate change acknowledgement people. And you got to wonder if that's part of it. But it's like, for goodness sakes. Anyhow, it rained. Storms, thunderstorms all last night. Rained all over my deck. But fortunately, the water was all bubbled up and pooled up on my deck, even with the hard rain, which means the sealant secured into the wood and is fine. So, yes. Oh, you use Seekins? Yeah, now my decks have been lasting. I mean, I did not have to replace my current deck. I just had a couple of boards I could have replaced. But the stain we had used, Cabot's Australian oil, just did not properly take. And after about 5 years, no matter how many times I reapplied it, it just, every winter you shovel and it would scrape the stain right off. So we just decided we were going to go with composite. We didn't need to replace the deck. It was still solid. It was still good. It was looking a little tatty. So we decided to replace the boards. And we were going to go composite, but we wound up going with wood. So yeah, this should still be good. It's, what I was doing yesterday before the rain was building the furniture, because I want to get the whole thing up and take a couple last pictures. I got this really fancy umbrella to coat because we need shade on our deck. Our deck is just permanently bombarded by the sun all summer long. There's no shade from 7 in the morning to 6 or 7 in the afternoon when the sun finally goes the other side of the house and the deck isn't under direct sunlight. Hey, Stuart, and hello, Ken. Welcome in, both of you. And anybody else have I missed while yakking here? Evo, that's 2 rivet countery. I run my trains and I'm happy with them. It's rained for nearly 24 hours with you. Yeah, we got the thunderstorms. It was supposed to start raining about, well, heck, Joyce said it was supposed to start raining by 3 yesterday afternoon, and it didn't come in until nighttime. But that's the problem. I mean, in Toledo, we'll have pouring rain where we live, and my daughter, where she lives in central North Toledo, she'll still have blue skies. Did I see any of the videos on the NEC? Yes, I've seen a ton of videos on the NEC, and what are my thoughts? Like all the other great shows, it's a great show. I love these train shows, and they're different from American train shows. And I would love to be able to attend them. And I know the UK is a smaller country, but still there are many hours between different parts of the country, different parts of the whole group of islands there. But so many of you who know each other get to see each other. And to me, that's more special than the train shows themselves. I mean, the Pete Waterman thing, that's awesome, that's great. And as awesome and big as it is, it's not my primary thing to go see. I'm going to go look at the guys that are selling the $5 and $10 and $20 wagons, and the guys I know. And that's the thing. It hits me as weird. But, you know, people like Alan at Dragon Junction and maybe Robert has that, where they go to train shows and people recognize them. Because you're all UK guys, and the UK guys all watch the UK channels. And so you can have a, quote, relatively small channel, and yet dozens and dozens of people, and a few people will recognize you at the train shows. BR78 equals tank version of the P8. Okay. No, I did not know that, EFO, but I'm not surprised. There's a lot of steam locomotives I see where I was like, how did these guys see if it was going forward? The views, there's some diesel locomotives where I think the same thing. Some American diesels where I'm like, how do you see with the windows way back here and that long nose in front of the, you know, the engine hood, if you're thinking of it as a car, in front of you? Sure do, trying to hide. The trade shows you, and to a degree that's true, Raymond, is I only go to, well, 2 train shows and sometimes just 1 train show a year, my local one. And it's the same guys, and you tend to see the same stuff. But I like, whereas in the old days I didn't like going to train shows because I wasn't into trains. I went to see the toys. Now, because I'm into the train community, and I'm doing the live stream, I'm excited to see this stuff. Even if I'm not going to buy it, I'm excited to see it. It's sort of like 58 years, 59 years of ignoring this stuff. And now you start to look at, oh, that's a cool set. That's a cool set. Oh, that's a cool livery. Never saw those trains in America. Hello, CMD models. Oh, you got wet taking your computer out. That's no fun. Because that's something you don't want to get wet. And yeah, here, you know, I can't speak for where you are, Raymond, but like where I am here, the minute it's European, the price is through the roof. Every now and then you'll find somebody that's got something inexpensive, which is why I've got those cars that go with my Prussian P8, those KPEV set of cars that I picked up, the Fleischmann's that I picked up at the Berea train show, because they weren't badly priced. Brisbane. Well, by the time I got on a plane and got to Brisbane, the show would be over. But anyhow, going back to that one thought, which is, there is an ego part of me that would love it if just once I went to a train show and somebody said, "Hey, aren't you the model train outsider?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." Even if their next line was, "You suck," I would be like Johnny Depp in the original Pirates of the Caribbean. "You have to be the worst pirate I ever heard of, but you have heard of me." Now, occasionally, I do wear one of my shirts that has the logo on it. And I was at a DIY store called Menards. It's a chain in the United States, Menards. I was at Menards picking up some stuff to build my deck earlier in the week, and I happened to be wearing one of my older Model Train Outsider shirts. And the guy said, "Oh, cool shirt." And I said, "Thank you." He says, "You're into model trains?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Oh, okay." Because I love model trains myself. I said, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is just my channel." "Oh, you got a channel?" "Yeah." "Well, I'll have to check it out." Now, did that guy ever check it out? I don't know. It would be awesome if he said, "Hey, I'm the guy you met at Menards, cool video," or something like that. But I keep waiting for that day to happen.
I have a problem. This is the cheapest portion unleavened in the world.
Sorry, I'm clicking on the link Ifo gave me and went straight to commercial. Yeah, see, now that's a great view backwards. But yeah, looking forwards on that, I'm skipping ahead a bit. Yeah, how do you see if something's in your way? Of course, the guy in the back has got his head hanging out and can look, but wow, that's just, yeah, that's all the more reason to respect and love drivers of trains and all the people that do that, considering they actually have a very good, you're back, just drop the daughter down the pub. Well, if you're going to find a babysitter, why not a pub? When do I leave for Australia? We leave May 29th, which was 4 weeks from Wednesday, this past Wednesday. So we're 3 weeks, 5 days away. Let's see, where's my control for it? No, oh, it's over here, right. I got to do this real quick. I'm going to turn the steamer sound off for a minute. I actually have a couple of trains with their sounds running. You probably don't hear the other one as much. You might hear the 218 now. You just booked flights for Denver, Colorado for October. Yeah, Joyce and I have to book our flights for Getz. But we are really looking at trying to figure out, even to the point of renting a car, if there's a way we're going to stay in Milton Keynes, but like Saturday or Sunday, go up to the Stapfold Barn, the new Worley show. And maybe try to catch a couple of people, because a lot of people have already said they're going to the Warley show and not Getz. But Joyce and I kind of already committed, and we have our reservation at the hotel. They're holding it for this coming year. Ernst Hobbies there. Yeah, Charlie, we are going down to Melbourne, or up to Melbourne, whichever direction it is from Sydney. We're going to be down at Melbourne for a few days because we're going to take a boat cruise that lets you see whales, or you hope to see whales. They can't guarantee you'll see whales, but we're hoping that we'll be able to catch up with Greg from Midsummer Rail N Scale. Sorry. Yeah, that would be cool. Wuppertal is on the someday in Germany list, and yes, riding the Schwebebahn is definitely something we plan on doing as well. Well, hello! Guten Tag, Robst 63. And now declare you a knight of the Round Boy table. You cruise from Auckland. Now the thing is, we are going down to Australia and we're staying with Artie. So unlike our trips to Germany and even the UK where we go all around the country and spend 4 days here, 6 days here, whatever, we're staying in Sydney and we're probably not going to see a lot of the things that the standard tourist might see. If I can get in contact with you, well, I will either find your email. Wales from Australia, that's a long cruise. But thank you, I'm here all week, try the veal. Hello, Tony from Choberton Junction, nice to have you. Sometimes it just reminds you, Tim. Sometimes it just reminds you. Of course, Hawkwind had a different lineup every album they released. I think there's only one guy that has been in the band consistently. Well, we will look into that, Charlie, because while we're down in Melbourne, we're staying just outside of Melbourne at a cousin of Artie's house. He's opened up his house to us so that we could stay there. And a lot of it we're just gonna play by ear. Yeah, Robert, we're doing the bridge. We're actually gonna do. We're going to be there while they do the big celebration with the light. They have the light festival. And we're going down for a couple of days and staying in the town or in the city, downtown Sydney at a hotel. Because we're south of Sydney a little ways where Artie is in Wollongong, which I still think sounds like slang for something naughty. But anyhow, so we're going up into Sydney to catch the Festival of the Lights. We're doing a dinner cruise, a nighttime dinner cruise to catch it all. Roland. Well, hello, Roland. Willkommen. Willkommen bei meinem Livestream. Any plans for the sugarcane trains? No. And again, this is where I hope I don't sound the wrong way. When Joyce and I travel, although it is changing, we don't think trains and train trips. As much as I'm into model trains and I love traveling by train when we're in Germany because it just makes life so much easier, Joyce and I don't plot things like, okay, hey, here's a cool heritage train we can ride. the trains are just, to us, a means of getting from A to B, and we enjoy it. But we don't sit there and go, gee, I wonder what cool trains they have. Now, Artie does have a couple of special train rides that we are going to take, but we're kind of leaving that in his hands. But we certainly don't plot out and plan train, oh, if you're here, you got to take this train ride. There's the cross-country one, across Australia, the continental one that takes a couple of weeks. Well, that would be a heck of an experience. Now, having said that, Joyce and I do plot some things. For example, our next trip to the UK, Joyce and I are leaving London, and we're going to take a Caledonian sleeper, and we're renting their best room, and we're going to take that overnight all the way up to Inverness. Because we figured the cost of train and 2 hotels, if we were to drive ourselves up there, it's cheaper to take the Caledonian sleeper. Yeah, Wollongong is south of Sydney, yep. And even in Wollongong, he's in the southern suburbs. Hey, Sir Kieran is here. Hello, Kieran. Yes, it does. From everything we've seen, Wollongong's got beautiful coast. And there really are 2 coastal areas. You have the actual Pacific Ocean coast, but then they have the bay and a lake as well. So it's sort of a... and then they got the Blue Mountains, which Joyce and I are really just digging. Now, the thing is, it's winter there. So the temperatures are cool. It's not really swim in the ocean weather, which is kind of sad, but unfortunately we can only travel at this time. So it is hitting their winter season there. And sadly, we are not going to make it. We wanted to go up to see the Great Barrier Reef, and that's just not in the... Financially, we could afford it, but it's a very difficult and long trip because we are down in the southeast. The Great Barrier Reef is up in the northeast, and it's not an easy do. We would have liked to have seen the Great Barrier Reef, but the whale boat excursion is going to more than make up for that. But, everybody's got 1,000 suggestions. Oh, if you're going to Australia, you got to do this, you got to do that. We're there for 2.5 weeks. There's no way we could do it all. Even in Sydney, there's no way you could do everything in Sydney for 2 weeks. Well, thank you. Dankeschön, Roland. Vielen Dank. I do run, except for my little German, my ICE3 that's in American livery, the Amtrak livery. I run Central European trains. I'm a Märklin guy, and I'm just into trains. I did not grow up into trains. I wasn't interested in trains. What happened is I spent 13 years taking students from the United States to a little city in Germany called Delmenhorst. Delmenhorst ist in der Nähe von Bremen, westlich von Bremen. 15 kilometers westlich von Bremen. And we had an exchange program. And everywhere we took our students, we took them on day trips up to Hamburg, over to Hanover, over to Goslar, 3 days in Berlin, Potsdam. And then we'd have a special trips where we rotated. We'd do Dresden and the Sächsische Schweiz, or the Alps, Munich and the Alps, or we'd go to the Rhine River where we stayed in the town of St. Goar. But we'd go up to Koblenz, which is still one of my favorite cities in Germany. Love Koblenz. That's interesting that you passed through Delmenhorst. Well, no, that's not interesting because you would have come that way and gone. So you would have, I was thinking Denmark, but you're Netherlands. So yeah, you would have gone through Delmenhorst on the way to Hamburg. Hey, Philip, Joyce is better, but not good. But anyhow, we fell in love with traveling by train. I had nothing to do with trains my entire life, but by age 50, I had fallen in love with traveling by trains in Germany. And then when my exchange program ended in 2016, that was our last trip. My wife and I just kept going to Germany on our own. 2017, 2019, and then COVID hit, so we missed a couple of years. And we decided to go to the UK in 2022, so we made it back to Germany a year ago. It's hard to believe it's been a year since a year ago we were getting ready to go to Germany. And as much as I'm looking forward to the Australia trip, I'm looking forward to our next trip to Germany. I have done so much planning for our next trip to Germany a year from now. Oh, well, hello, Ollie. Welcome in, Sir Ollie. Great to have you here. I just now caught you were here. And Rachel spotted you. Cool. And yes, again, I posted on Facebook, but congratulations on all your accomplishments and moving up and passing all your tests and qualifications. Sadly, it means you're even less on YouTube. But between your restorations and all your testing for qualifications, and now that you get to do all this driving, what an amazing experience. All the way up to Birmingham, it seems. Well, welcome, Enea. I hope I said that name right. Enea or Enea Oriti. Welcome. We got another one. Let's get united. I now declare you a knight of the round boy table. So, if you are new to the channel, you may advertise your channel or anybody else's model train related channel or comedy related channel, because my channel is a mix of model trains and comedy. At least we try to be. Some people may not find what we do funny, but we do try. Let's go to the multi-view for a little bit. Yes, although actually, well, yes, I am running German right now with a fake American train. It's actually a German ICE-3, but painted in the American livery, but it never existed. It's a never was. It's a false flag, I think we call them in America. Mostly German trains, but yes, I'm also running the Märklin Flying Scotsman. I'm a Märklin guy. I run the, I have Märklin C-Track. I have a Central Station 3. All right, Simon, take care of yourself. Get some rest. I primarily focused on Central European, primarily German, but also Austrian and Czech, because those are the trains I ride when I'm in Europe most of the time. In fact, I've never been on a Dutch train. In fact, I've never even been on a Swiss train. Even my trips to Switzerland have always been German. So it's been the private companies of Germany, Deutsche Bahn, and then Czech, České dráhy, or Österreichisches Bundesbahn. And that's what most of my trains are. Oh, that sounds wonderful. I might be up and off to the store at that time, but hopefully I'll be home and able to see it. Yes, but the one that was in the United States was an ICE 1 or was it an ICE 2? It wasn't an ICE 3. And I almost bought that one, but it was more expensive. Although, well, it would have definitely been more expensive to convert it to 3-rail. I saw a 2-rail version of it. It's May the 4th here, so you have your Star Wars marathon to attend. All right, take care. May the 4th be with you. I see one in an S2000 from Sweden. Okay. Yeah, I can't remember. I thought it was ICE1, but I don't trust myself. Have a good time with your Star Wars marathon. I still only watch the original 3 movies, and even then I tend to skip Return of the Jedi a lot. I love the original, and to be honest, I kind of like Phantom Menace, but after that they all just got less fun for me. Well, thank you, Sprue and Glue, and welcome in. So a lot of you guys that, you know, used to see me in your live streams, just the last month, I have not been on YouTube as much. I have been building a deck and dealing with some other things around the house and family. Nothing negative other than Joyce being sick and in the hospital last weekend. Yeah, I do miss seeing everybody. It's been really weird. Because not only do I miss going to the live streams, but it's the people I know that I chat in those live streams, you know. There are times where I might see Hot Dog Pilot every single day in somebody's live stream and just be able to say hi or know he's there, catch the, you know, see him joking around and get to laugh at that. And, or Dino, you know. And now it's, well, if it's not my live stream, I did wake up early, and that was weird because we got home from the hospital at 2 a.m. and got into bed about 3, and my stupid brain woke up at 7:45. I really expected I would just sleep through, but my brain woke up and said 7:45 and said, hey, remember, Andy said he was going to run that train for you. And I'm like, oh my God, well, I better show up. And I know Andy would have forgiven me for not showing up and said, hey, we didn't get home till 2 a.m. I'm dead tired. But my brain just woke up, and when my brain wakes up, I'm awake. So with 4.5 hours sleep, I was like, okay, well, let's start this day. Hey, Sir Andy Dobson is here. All right, Robert, take care. I'll watch your video with dinner tonight because I saw you posted. But I had Cayenne, and trust me, it was a chore to get these trains ready to run with Cayenne here. Because, like, when I set them up for the opening shot with the 11-lane shot there, Cayenne's like, keep them running, Opa, keep them running. I want this train. And then he's like, Opa, you got to put this train on and take that train off. And I was like, no, we're doing my show. You were sleeping. Well, hello again, Ian. I feel so bad. I wish I spoke Dutch. Yeah, my channel will never just be trains. I've come to accept it. Some people haven't. But I just kind of, hey, here's what's going on in my life videos on my channel. Even in Italy. It's quite probable. I mean, Italy's got some beautiful trains, and someday Joyce and I will work our way to Italy, but there's just so much in Northern Europe we still want to see before we head south. Oh, Leslie, don't talk about typing getting bad. I used to be very, very proud and even arrogant of my typing. And now on a computer keyboard, I can't go 6 letters without screwing up 3. It is very frustrating. It's just one of the things, my bad hands. Just one more thing to highlight how bad my hands have gotten. Les's videos are always good. The problem is, over the years, I've seen so many, I put all the positive comments, the superlatives just become a broken record. Awesome, great, good. Yeah, thanks, Anthony. It almost becomes scary when you're used to somebody always putting nice video on your video, and then the one day they don't, they're like, wow, did they really not like that video? In my case, no, it just means I missed it. If you're used to me commenting on your videos, it's not that I've stopped commenting. Well, I have stopped commenting simply because I haven't been able to watch. I am so far behind. And this is why I started this live stream talking about everybody who's sick, because I'm just finding stuff out. You know, I only found out about Simon's illness the other day. I was a few days late on Dino talking about his illness. All right, auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss, Roland. Ich danke Ihnen für das Besuch. I do speak fairly fluent German, but it takes me a little bit of time before I get rid of the American accent. I will admit to that as well, but I always add something so it wasn't just the suggested. But sometimes, like, they'll type in, "Thank you very much," and I'll add, "I really appreciate that." You know, I use the automated response and then try to make it something more personal as well. But it does save a little bit of time. Hello, Tony Northeastern. Speaking of somebody else who put up a video while I was watching Cayenne, and I need to watch when we do dinner here. Is the decking completed? The decking is completed, yes. I am waiting for I'm waiting for the weather so I can finish making the new furniture, deck furniture, you know, assembling it. I shouldn't say making, assembling. MBE, CBE, OBE, there you go. Hello, Hot Andy. Fancy meeting you here. But it is a... yeah, you pop up in all kinds of fancy places, and then you hang around in dives like this. Nah, Evil, I don't worry about it. It's all in good fun. I love to learn. I love to, even if I tease back or refuse to change my ways, you know, that's one of the things with my ICE2 here. I'm pretty sure my cars are out of order, but I need to get a super magnifying glass because even with these glasses, I can't read the car numbers anymore. I can't look at it and go, wait, this is car 4. You know, this is 804, 803, 802. I can't see them. Where you mentioned earlier about the cars do have numbers. I know this, unfortunately. So usually what I do is when I get them out of the box, you know, I get them out of the box, they usually have them in the order. And then they tell you, you know, the booklets that come with the trains tell you where to put the cars. And then I try to leave them in that order. And if I even take them apart and put them on the shelves, I'm very careful to go, you, then you, then you, then you. At least if they're trains I'm familiar with. Now, if it's, you know, some of these old Prussian trades where I don't know what the running order is, or my Rheingold, it took me a long time to figure out what the official running order with my Rheingolds were, but I finally got there. Hey, Shortbread is here. Hello, Sir Shortbread, who's now the Royal Baker. Hope you didn't miss anything. Nope. Especially when I'm here, you don't miss anything. This channel is just, it's the instructions of a shampoo bottle. Lather, rinse, repeat. Indeed, N-gauge is even worse. N-scale is even worse. Where you're at, it's dry outside and wet inside. Well, that's the best thing about having a wet bar. But, yeah, now that the Amtrak's doing its last run for a while, today, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to park it. That's the new challenge. Where do I park it? I may have to move somebody off of the Bremen side here. I may have to move somebody off the parking tracks there and put them, like maybe one of the freight trains, and put them in one of these empty drawers I have right here. Because I've got some empty drawers here for other cars. Because, again, it's one of these pin cushion connections. The, you know, pole connectors, and you're not supposed to keep taking them apart, putting them together, taking them apart, putting them together. So it's a, where do I park them where I don't have to keep taking it apart? I have toyed with the idea of, and let me go to this camera here. Let's see, Delmenhorst low view. This camera, there's nobody here. But I'll point this out to you. I've toyed with the idea of taking a branch off right here and putting a level right above my test track here. And just creating like 3 lanes of additional parking right here, and then I'd have my programming and test tracks below it. I don't know how stupid an idea that is, but just have a little, put a little left-hand turn off right here, and just build a little platform right here, and just have an additional parking area. And I could get a 6-car train parked up here. Oh, you're thinking, yeah, oh, definitely. While I try to model Germany and I mean, actually, let's go to this view. This side over here, excuse me, this will be, it's actually That station over there is the actual city station, the Bahnhof of Delmenhorst, Germany. That is a 100% inside and outside scratch-built replica of the Delmenhorst station, and about 95% accurate bus depot. And the reason it's not 100% accurate is because the roof on my bus station actually has some solid bits to it, where at Delmenhorst it is actually all clear plexiglass. Well, we were up to 47, 48 a minute ago. Now we're down to 43. And so, and I'm slowly trying to model the city of Delmenhorst. There are many buildings here that are actual shops and buildings in Delmenhorst. I don't know which camera I could use to highlight it. Yeah, I've got some great views that I don't utilize enough. Mostly I don't show as many cameras to this side isolated because there's only 3 trains that come over here, and you'll see one coming up now. So there's a lot of dead time here. But yeah, right now I'm running an American train in Germany. All right, it's a German train with American livery. And I'm running a UK train, the Flying Scotsman. But you can see a little bit more of the damage the cats did where that one light post is bent. Fortunately, I bought all repairs. I just need to get my lazy butt going. Yes, I tend to have my trains pull. I get teased a lot about it, but I tend to have my locomotives pull. Because where I tend to be in Germany, it tends to be locomotive first in those places. It's been very, very rare that I've ridden a train where the locomotive pushed instead of pulled. So whatever the odds of that happening are, most of the times when Joyce and I ride trains, it has been the vast majority of times, I would say easily 85-90% of the time, it's been locomotive first, if it had a locomotive. Obviously, if it's like an ICE where it's a controlled cab. But like when we rode the 2 times we rode the Railjet last summer, it was the Taurus first. Every time we've ridden an IC1, it was the 218 or the 101 first. And then the cars. I think a couple of times when we were in the Dresden or Berlin area, we rode, it'd have to be Dresden. I think one time in Dresden, we were on a Dosto, Regio, a Regio Dosto, and it was pushed by a 143. I seem to recall that. I don't remember if it was 2014 with my students or just 2017 with Joyce and myself alone. But it was a very odd circumstance to, it was like, wow, we are going Steuerwagen first. Well, hi. A Carvel. Now, of course, an IC1, because you do have a powered end. Well, actually, IC1, both ends were powered. IC2, I thought was, one end was powered. But, I mean, the real things, not the models. But to me, there's still Steuerwagens on both ends. But again, I am not a train enthusiast, although I think I'm starting to become one. My trains are to remind me of traveling by train in Europe, predominantly Germany. But, you know, with the guys on the floor now obviously I've never had the Mallard, but I've ridden an Azuma there. All right, Peter, thanks for hanging out. Very appreciative. Always an honor, and Joyce and I are always very appreciative. You want a new controller, but it's very expensive. To run how you have your system run, yeah. Also a clash on Mallard train derailed. But yeah, the little stuff on the floor is just because I fell in love. When Joyce and I went to the UK a couple of years ago, I wanted a Mallard. And originally the thought was I was just going to put it on a shelf. You know, a shelf queen, the Mallard. Because I had learned about the Mallard and I thought the A4s were just the coolest looking streamlined trains anywhere in the world, even over the German ones. And the Mallard was the most famous one. And of course, for a couple of years before I went to the UK, for 3 years, I had been talking to Chris Whittingham from Hales Heritage Railway, and he had a collection of Mallards. In fact, right before he died, he got, not Mallards, A4s. He got his 28th Mallard like a couple of weeks before he died. 28th A4. I keep saying Mallard, sorry. He got his 28th A4 model. He had a massive collection of A4s. And that's where I was like, oh, the Silver Fox is cool. Oh, that one's cool. Oh, the Sir Nigel Greshly's cool. You know, it was just, I think Chris probably more than anybody made me fall in love with the A4, and then the Mallard was the most famous A4. I had heard of the Mallard even before I got into model trains. So when we went to the UK in 2022, I was just going to find a Mallard, and Joyce was like, what are you going to do with a Mallard? You can't run it on anything. And I thought, well, I could always get a loop of track and, you know, a cheap loop of track. And she's like, oh, well, whatever. And one cheap loop of track became a second cheap loop of track, became 2 loops of Trix C-Track, 2 controllers, and now I've got a Mallard and 2 different sets of cars for it. I've got the, I bought the Beatles Eurostar train. I bought the Beatles wagons. I've got the Beatles, because I'm a Beatles geek, okay? So I got all these Beatle trains. And then after 4 weeks in the UK and a couple of rides on the Azuma and just seeing the Azuma go, that's a beautiful train. That reminds me of the IC3. What a gorgeous train. Joyce, like, let's get one. Hey, this one's only 310 pounds. That's not a bad price. Joyce is like, no, you don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it. And then what does she do for Christmas? She buys it for me. With the help of Malord Allen and I think it was Andy at March West Junction. She was contacting those 2 guys behind my back and plotting and scheming and got me which to this day, the 40 years we've been a couple, is still maybe the coolest Christmas gift she's ever done. And I mean, she's done some great things, but the level to which she hid that she was doing that and played it off and just totally had me oblivious. Because usually she gives clues away. And, so yeah, now I've got that Azuma, and I've got that HST there, the swallow livery, which I've always thought was beautiful. All right, good night, Dino. Take care. Well, you can say what you want now. You got Mark to send you your number. Okay. Well, thank you for that, Michael. I think it was wasn't the Mallard the 100 first to go 100 miles per hour, right? Are we saying one of my Mallard coaches is derailed, or did something else happen? Because I'm not seeing anybody derailed. So I do, because once I branched out on YouTube and I left I didn't leave, but I expanded from, I was watching all the Märklin channels from Germany, a couple from France, Sweden, I was watching a bunch of Märklin guys. And then I came across a guy that was running tricks trains, but he was in the UK. That's Jim from Hover Motion. And I started watching him, and oh my God, I developed such a crush on Jim. I had such a bromance, a bro crush on Jim's channel because it's such a beautiful layout. And then very quickly I started following all the UK channels because I'd see people commenting and I'd go see their channels. So within a week from joining Jim, I was on Dragon Junction and New Junction and IC82. Was one of the first ones I joined. Will from IC82. And I've told these stories many times, I know. But I just suddenly, I knew UK guys, and I would comment, and they would comment back. A lot of the German channels I would comment and not get answers back. But everybody I was talking to, I'd type a comment, and Alan would type, "Oh, thank you, Anthony, blah, 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 blah." And that was before we became friendly. It's just, he responded. And so there are just more and more people that I was communicating with and getting to know. And so I wound up learning almost as much about UK trains as I knew about German trains, because I don't know much about any of them. I just ride the German train so much, I know what I ride. And I'm an Era 6 guy, modern era. But now, of course, I branched up and I got the old stuff. But, so I love all the UK guys. They were just so nice. And then slowly I started branching into American channels, which, just maintains the Model Train Outsider name. I was an American guy running European trains. Everybody does 2-rail. I'm doing 3-rail. And then nobody in America knows me. I mean, and that's probably, if I ran American trains and still did all the other stuff I do on this channel, I might go to the Toledo train show or one of the other local train shows and have somebody go, "Hey, you're that guy from that channel." Because, if I go to the UK, it's going to be to meet guys. So that's different when you meet people who already know you. But I think there's a part of my ego, I don't know, that would just like to go to a train show and have somebody I don't know, who would see my logo and go, "Oh, the Model Train Outsider." And then, "I love your songs," or "I love your Matt Clark stuff." Oh, Russia always claims. Hello, Ammo Point. And hello, Kyle Stevens, Sir Kyle of Stevens. Nice to have you both here. Yeah, we got up to near 50, and then all of a sudden somebody mentioned, wow, full house, and like we dropped 15. We went from 50 to 33 real fast, which is actually 17. Well, not mention Concordsky. But they're, you know, countries got to have those ego moments where we did it first, you know, and, you know, in archaeology and human sociology, human history, like China's always trying to claim, oh, we've got the oldest human. No, you don't. The human race, like it or not, the human race started in Africa, and we can trace the human skeletal remains and date them back and pretty much plot every 20,000 years of where the human race advanced and spread out. Go to bed. Have a great weekend, Ian. As always, thank you. And cool videos you put up this week. I did catch them. October 7th, 400 BC. We did it first. But in the end, I mean, it's... Hey, did I see somebody say Roger from St. Blaise was here? Okay, maybe I didn't. Well, hello, Christopher. Great to have you, Sir Christopher. Good night to Ian. Good night. As always, thank you. Mallard is going well. Mallard is doing fine. I just wish I had a couple of more of those cars for Mallard to pull. I need a couple of... I've got 2 first-class cars and that intermediate car, whatever you want to call it, in front of it. I would like to get some sort of a baggage car. At least one third class car. And just finish the rake with those double O's. And I still got to finish the HO rake of the LMS that I have with the Flying Scotsman on the table today. Speaking of which, let's go check in here. Let's give the big close-up view with everybody. Because, see, I have 1 third class, then a dining car, and then 2 first-class cars. So I need 1 more third-class car, just so that I have what I consider a balance. 2 third-class dining, 2 first-class. Obviously, I have no way of knowing what a true and proper consist would be. I know I could go learn it. I don't care that much. It's not going to be run. I'm not trying to run a prototype UK. I'm not trying to run a prototype anything. I do like my primary German trains to be in some form of proper consist. At least the modern era stuff. So my IC2 is 5 cars and a loco. My metronome is 5 cars and a loco, although metronome has recently gone to a 6th car, and I think, is it Piko or Roco is releasing a new metronome with a 6 car set. And of course, I'm enjoying this guy. This guy doesn't belong anywhere. But he's a cool train to have. We'll just follow him around here. Raymond Bahnhof. I think I want to get that camera back further and slightly lower. And then he will disappear and eventually come. There he goes. Now you can see him going up. And right in the middle of the screen, right about there, that's where the incline begins. So now he's going up the incline. So you can see him coming up the ramp. Into Delmenhorst station. The village view for a bit. But we'll go ahead and get down low here. And then back to the camera where I started with them. Some ways that's kind of cool. Strangely very comfy. Same Blazy was here. Well, I am sorry, Sir Roger. I did not see you come in. I was babbling too much. I was one off. I was one off? Where was I one off? How was I one off? I've had one off, but this isn't the channel to talk about that. Ah. Everybody's unique. Not antique. No, I'm antique too. No, technically I'm not antique. You have to be 100 years old to be antique officially. But, all right, take care, Michael. Thank you for popping in. Always great to see you. When you don't watch the trains, they behave. You turn to watch and they misbehave. My trains are the opposite. It's when I'm not watching them, they misbehave. I'll set them up, it looks like they're running good, and then I'll start trying to take care of something else, and then it'll go, he's not watching me, watch this! Wah! Hey, Okay, Sir Ray Ron is here. Hello, Sir Ray Ron. And Sir David from Scott Rails, welcome in. But for the most part, I'm, you know, those of you that have been here long enough, you know, and I know I'm inviting the curse from hell. But most streams, my trains run, dare I say, flawlessly. They run smooth. I don't have to re-rail somebody. I don't. But there are those episodes where everything's going wrong. And a lot of times that's still on me because I didn't set up properly, I used to always set up on Wednesday nights and get all the trains lined up and test run them on Thursday to make sure everything was good, and then Friday was no. But the last several months, I'm setting up the live stream on Thursday, and then I hope to get down Friday morning and test run the trains for about 10, 15 minutes, make sure. And that's not always enough. And there are times where, well, I ran each train one loop, but I didn't pay a lot of attention and didn't run them all at the same time to make sure everything was good. All right, Kai, I'll try to have a great and safe day at work. That term I no longer understand. Lucky me, I got to retire. You were doing something around, you found your Trinity 75th anniversary hoppers. Well, those sound cool. Send me a picture of them. Or maybe you did a video on them a while back, but because the name sounds familiar. Here, maybe this one. Let's do this one. I haven't done this one enough. Indeed. Okay, so Mark just sent me your number, Graham. I will try to text you and hope it all goes well. Because otherwise, I don't know if you do Facebook. I do Facebook chats, video chats. Christopher and I video chat every Wednesday. Jean Ricard calls me anywhere from 2 to 5 times a week. Some of those calls can go 3 hours. Unfortunately, lately, every time he's called me, I've either been out at the store or in the car. And poor Joyce a couple times had to answer. And of course, Joyce is going with me to the stores just to get out of the house because she's been stuck in the house for over a week. And it's driving her crazy. So even though she doesn't feel well, she's just in the car just to get out of the house. And so she's answered the phone. Hello? And there's Mark Donegal Dad. Hello, Sir Mark. Welcome in. Great to have you here. Nice live stream you had yesterday. Yeah, pistachio nuts, the Kinder Egg of foods. I'm a cashews guy. I am a cashews guy. Cashews are the... Okay, so... Ah, yes. There we go. Okay, I remember your video on those, and yes, those are sharp. I like those, Randall. I do indeed like those. Oh, absolutely, David. Chocolate-covered cashews are a heaven. Oh, they are very blissful. And yes, totally healthy. You know, it's a nut. It's plant-based, and chocolate is plant-based, so they should both be healthy. It's vegetarian. It's healthy. Like cashew chicken. I don't know that there's any meal I've had where they added cashew into it where I thought, oh, it's even better like that. I just cashews and then chocolate-covered cashews in and of themselves are a snack of the gods. Well, I don't use WhatsApp, unfortunately, Graham, but I will, maybe I should start looking into WhatsApp. My problem is, the pistachios are fine, the cashews are fine, it's the chicken. I'm just not into chicken. There is some chicken I will eat, and Joyce will cook chicken, and I will eat it because Joyce cooked it, and sage and onion stuffing. Now, see, you lost me with the onions. Oh, we're going to start talking foods, and I'm going to point out all the foods I don't like. All right, Ifo, thank you for your information and knowledge as always. It's a wonderful to have you here. It's a wonder to have you here, too. A consummate brain is yours hanging out in a slum like my live stream, but always appreciated. So yeah, I will text you. I won't promise today because it's already getting late there, and right after I get off here, I'll be doing dinner, but definitely by tomorrow. But I managed to find enough Italian food in England, in the UK, to eat well. But again, I had an official English breakfast. I think that's what they called it, or British breakfast. I mean, it had the bangers and the eggs and the different breads and the baked beans. I skipped the mushy peas, but that was there. Indeed, Mick. The full English. That's what it's called, the full English. Yes. I had that in London. It was our last full day in the UK, and I hadn't done the full English breakfast yet. So Joyce and I found this little outdoor breakfast cafe near the Tower of London. It was not a tourist place. It was, you know, off the path a ways where the locals that live in that area would know. And we just went up to their little patio and had, and it wasn't a chain. It was just this little, quiet little restaurant in the back of everything. And very nice. I probably should have written the name down, but I didn't. All right, Stuart, take care. And again, I know it sounds like a broken record, but thank you for hanging out. It's always an honor and a pleasure to see you. You've got one of the coolest channels and coolest layouts on YouTube. If you guys do not know Stuart from St. Mary's Church Model Railway, go to his channel, subscribe, and watch his videos. He's got beautiful trains, a beautiful layout. And I've been able to say that without him tearing half of it down lately. So that really makes me feel good. Ironic thing is no Brits eat a full English except in cafes and hotels. So is it something they just serve to the tourist? I thought that was one of the things that I've just seen so many UK channels, not tourist channels, just UK guys talk about. Like, oh, I'm having a full English. You know, I'm having a proper English breakfast, and they would show it all out. Joyce did not enjoy it as much as I did. I liked it. Joyce was, some was good, some was, but it was big. It was a definitely we got our money's worth in food. Yeah, now ours did not have Spam, but it had the black pudding. It's usually a weekend breakfast. So, yeah, that's always the thing. There'll be people that say, oh, yeah, we do it all the time. And then there'll be people that say, oh, it's only for tourists. It just depends, I guess, where in the country or what have you. Which is just, it's all good. You know, the only thing is when Joyce and I travel, we do try to avoid the touristy things when it comes to food. You know, we don't go to the, quote, trendy places or the places all the tourists. We don't tend to eat at the restaurants right in the heart of the tourist areas because they tend to be tourist oriented. We like to go a few blocks off and then find the local imbiss, you know, in Germany or what have you. And we've done well with that even in the UK. The only place it really was rough was Edinburgh. Joyce and I talked about it briefly last week, that when we were in Edinburgh, all the even 3, 4, or 5 blocks away from where we stayed, places way off the beaten path from the tourist area where we were kind of living in, they were packed. They were like, oh, you have to call a day in advance to get seats here. Oh, okay. Poor just haute cuisine. Full English is an event, I agree. It was just something to do and we enjoyed it. Now, my favorite breakfast is a typical what in America we call a continental breakfast, and maybe you guys call it there too. But it's the selection of bread, meats and cheeses and jams and butter. You know, and just throw it, you know, different types of bread, different types of meat and cheese, and just throw it all together and call it a happy. All right, let's turn the steamer sound back on because we all like steamer sounds. And I will turn the diesel off. I don't know that anybody was hearing that diesel. Indeed. In fact, we were told by some of the locals, you know, that people from all over come into Edinburgh and they're looking to get drunk, party, and fight. And that's what locals told us. Born and raised Edinburgh folk or longtime transplants like Chris Whittingham. He gave us quite a rundown on Edinburgh and places to avoid. Muesli is just cereal. It's usually a oat and grain mix, but in German, even your Fruit Loops, your Weetabix cereal, that's muesli. But officially muesli is some sort of oat or wheat based. It can be porridge. It can be like American oatmeal. It can be dry, hard granola crunch things. It's just muesli is a mixed oat breakfast, whatever. It can be soft or hard. Exactly, David. That is heaven. Good bread. Soft, chewy bread with a good crust. And then just butter and whatever jams and cheeses or meats you want to put on it. A mix. Whether we're in somebody's house or we go out. And Joyce and I will often have that as a breakfast and lunch and then go out to a good dinner. Or we'll do it as a breakfast and a dinner and then go out for a good lunch. And just a little bit of bread, meat, and cheese. And if we decide not to do the bread, meat, and cheese, then we get a bratwurst on a roll. And some chips, as you'd call them in the UK. French fries, as we call them. But it's heaven. Croissants work as well. It's awesome. Oh, hey, let's quick. 11 lamp. Where is it? Stupid Anthony. Oh, he passed it. Raymond corner view. Yeah, we got the Flying Scotsman is steaming ahead, boys. That's because I turned the wrong button on. I thought it had run out of steam, but there you go. It's got a little bit of steam chuffing there, so. Edible potpourri. But yeah, granola is the word I was looking for, Leslie. Yeah, it's granola. But again, granola is just grain. I mean, it's the word grain. Mixed grain is granola. Oops. But I to be honest, I like granola cereals. I like oatmeal. I like all the boring foods everybody else hates, and I hate all the foods everybody else likes. I think Joyce has made soda bread once. But seriously, in Germany, any form of cereal nowadays is called muesli. It's no longer just granola with whatever fruits you throw in. It's any cereal is muesli. And see, you say porridge with honey is lush, and other people go, blah. I used to really love honey as a kid. I don't mind things with a tint of honey in it. Honey topped sourdough bread or something like that is good. Honey sweetened things are okay, but I used to put honey on toast and butter and loved it as a kid. Now I go, I don't dislike it, but I don't like it the way I once did. But yeah, Joyce makes an awesome homemade bread. But Joyce has 3 levels of her homemade bread and rolls. There's the, I just feel like making it in the summer, and it's her quick recipe, and she just does it. Then there's the secondary holidays, where she's going to make some, and she's going to put a little more work into it. But then there's the big holiday stuff, Thanksgiving, Easter, and Christmas, where she really puts her time and effort into it. And any of them are good, but her homemade bread, when she's putting that effort into it, her homemade rolls are absolutely amazing. She's a good baker. She's a good cook and a great baker. I grew up with a mom who was kind of from the South, and everything was fried or deep fried. And my dad liked all his food well done. I did not know steak did not taste like charcoal until Joyce made me a steak when she had me over for dinner with her family. And I was being polite and eating the steak, and I took the first bite. I was like, holy cow, this is good. Because my mom's steaks were like charcoal black. I am that rare person. You know, most people are like, oh, my mom was a great cook. I don't think my mom was a great cook. There were a couple of things my mom made. Like, my mom made cornbread that nobody on the planet Earth could beat. My mom made wonderful cornbread, and I miss it. And my mom could make the holiday meals, the Christmas, Thanksgiving turkey, and my mom could also bake. Cakes and breads were really good. My mom was a good baker, and the holiday meals were good, but the everyday food was just bleh. It's probably why I was skinny until I met Joyce. All right, good night, Kieran. Take care. Chris is going to say that till we acknowledge it. I think that's the second or third time he's typed. Muesli is cat litter with currants. I don't think those are currants, but that's a different story. We always had a phrase among my friends when we had a good steak or a good burger, and we used to just laugh and go, the cow died well. But my problem is the cow died well, and then my mom cremated it. I mean, she wasn't a horrible cook. It just, like, steaks and things I discovered actually tasted so much better. I mean, she could fry a burger, but who can't fry a burger? But I actually can cook fairly well. I just tend not to. Joyce kind of became the de facto family cook. I don't know if it was just that pseudo-misogynistic, you're the wife, you cook. Because I cooked for myself for years. Once I started working around age 12 or 13, my hours, I wasn't home for dinner, conveniently so, and would either stop off and hit fast food, or I'd come home and make my own dinner. And then very quickly, around the age 15, 16, I just learned to buy some of my own stuff and cook for myself. But, you know, I wasn't grilling steaks or anything like that. I was buying cheap. So I'd buy some ground beef and fry myself some burgers, or make myself some sausage gravy and biscuits, which is something else my mom could make really good. Sausage gravy and biscuits. We had a George Foreman grill, and then we gave up on it. Now we just have a real grill. I mean, we've always had a real grill, but if the weather's even remotely decent and we're in the mood, Joyce will have me grill burgers, steak, and occasionally have me grill some chicken that she wants, and then a burger for me. We definitely have lost the crowd. I think people are waiting. You had one and it hit you. Well, you shouldn't have called yourself Muhammad Ali. I'm going to do inter-house communication with nope. No, I don't want that form. There's a good one, Randall. At least it wasn't a Mike Tyson grill. I'm the heavyweight champ in the world. With a voice like Mike Tyson's, no wonder he became such a vicious fighter. It's a shame the records he could have set if he just had not allowed, whoops, didn't want to go there. If he had not allowed the distractions in life, like happens to so many successful people. You know, he got a little too big-headed. He cut Angelo Dundee and those guys off. And he got soft. He lost that edge. He lost that fire. But I remember when he came out, 17, 18-year-old, and he was terrifying. I mean, that was what brought him to the attention, was how many fights didn't make it out of the first round. He was just a tank with a howitzer for a right arm. He'd just come in, you know, and he still has one of the greatest quotes, I think, in the history of life. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Everybody has a plan, everybody has a strategy until they get punched in the mouth. Simple, but so true to the story of life. Higher cough, cough. Choo, 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 choo. Well, I had the Flying Scotsman smoking for a bit. What? 6:15? Yeah. Oh, pizza. Okay. All right. Well, you can croak out a hello whenever you want. Yeah, the red one's the power. Chug, 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 chug. See, I'll always hear that and go, that's not the right sound. It's still a happy steam sound. Get all Cayenne's shenanigans out of the way. Let's get a camera on you, although you may not want one today.
Oh,
You're still
you
beautiful, dear. You're still beautiful. You just don't feel good.
Hey, Leamington. Hi, Randall. Hi, Tom. Hi, Andy. Hi,
Save your
Ellie.
energy. Don't rock.
Hi, Andrew. Hi, Colin.
Yeah, let me turn the sound down so you don't feel like you're talking over it. There you go.
Oh, thank you, Mick, and hello. Yeah, I just...
For those who can't hear her, she is saying hello to all of you.
So hi to everybody. Oh, yeah, I'm just very discouraged. This is taking so long. Yeah, I understood. Well, hi, Ellen. I have a good-looking Sheila.
You good-looking Sheila. Sheila. Normally associated with Australian for woman.
Right, yeah, I wouldn't take that as...
I agree.
Wouldn't take that as Wales. So, no, it's the littlest thing just wipes
Well, you
me
remember,
out.
the first thing you ever said about Alan's channels had nothing to do with his trains.
It's true.
If you guys don't know the story, we're going to embarrass... I don't know who we're going to embarrass more,
good
Joyce
grief.
or Alan. I had started watching Alan full
Just
time.
don't keep anything sacred.
It's
here.
already, people know it. Alan was in the shed and stood up one day, and he was wearing a pair of shorts, and Joyce looked at him and said, wow, he's got good bike riding legs. He's got good legs. And
I noticed
we haven't
little
missed an
shit
Alan
like
video
that.
ever since.
Yeah, like lady.
Actually, I looked at her and said, I agree, honey, and she's never appreciated me since.
Thank you, Joseph. I really would just like a poof of cure.
She really does. Joyce wants to believe that somewhere there's a magic cure that somebody will go abracadabra, hocus pocus, Wingardium Leviosa, and boom, she's cured.
Yeah, I'll have energy.
Yeah, the pneumonias don't ever just go away softly, and they just slowly fade away, and you just feel a little bit better each day. And the problem is, Miss, oh, I feel okay this morning, so I can run a marathon now.
I have done nothing that even resembles a marathon.
No, but you got up and started
I
doing the
know.
dishes yesterday, and I had to yell at you.
I was alright doing the dishes.
You were all right
Thank you,
doing the dishes,
Remington.
and then what happened?
That's alright. Hey, Leslie.
You came in and crashed.
I crashed after our little trip.
And you crashed after the store trip. And then you had Kyan here where I was doing most of the work, but he made that mess in the kitchen while I was upstairs.
Yeah, it hurt.
And you went to clean it up, and then you just sat down and were dead. Yeah, you were not healthy.
I know. So, yeah, anyway. How's everybody else doing?
Sadly, I've been catching up. A lot of people on YouTube have been sick one way or another.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yes, Andy, she's a leg lady.
Sure I am. Yeah, he's got good legs. Pick up your pickle.
Sadly, I got legs that would make many women jealous because there's not a lick of hair on any of my legs.
Yeah.
Little genetic defect that come from my mom's side of the family.
What's up, Isha?
Yeah, my mom didn't have to shave her legs. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, girls either. Anyway, kill the conversation. So go back to talking about so go back to talking about trains and stuff. I know.
Go back, talk about trains. We talk about trains for the first hour when people question what I'm running, or, well, you know, genre card's not here to tell me I was running things
Right.
backwards, so Evo was telling me, well, you still have some of your cards backwards.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Just to be wicked as he was. He's gone now, so I can say mean things.
Gotcha. We've seen all of your trains run this way before.
Well, we got the Flying Scotsman going,
How do you do?
and he's got the Tinderbox going, which looks really cool.
Oh,
Unfortunately, you can never catch it on the right camera angle.
okay.
It's got a nice little Tinderbox glow going.
Yeah.
That's actually a deep truth, Andy. A lot of times when we're healthy, we just do normal things because we expect to be healthy. It's when you're ill, you can't wait to feel normal again.
Right.
But once you feel normal, then you're grinding about all the work you got to do.
Yeah, I guess so, Joseph. I know I've had one, but... Oh, it's to change the oil, okay. Yeah, this time of year, you sure gotta take care of it, because, man, it's sometimes more than
Yes.
once a week.
If I hadn't had the live stream, I might have been able to mow the lawn this afternoon.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it after the live
I don't think
stream.
it's gonna be, I don't know. You're
You
just
think
gonna
tomorrow will be okay?
You're just gonna have bursts of rain, and then it's gonna clear up.
Yeah, but
a
that makes
bit.
it hard to mow because the grass is wet.
Yes, it does.
But at least the deck, despite only getting 36 hours instead of 48 hours,
It's ponding.
handled the rain. It clearly, the sealer worked. Because that rain was all bottled up on top.
Yeah, I want to say though, usually when I'm sick, when you start coming out of it, you feel like, you're really good. And it feels kind of good, and then
You push yourself.
it gets back to the regular day.
That's your problem. You push yourself because you think you're feeling better, but you forget your stamina has to come back, especially with a pneumonia.
Yeah, not much. I'm feeling better. Oh, can you get away with that long? I don't think we can here this time of year. It just gets too tall.
Oh, yeah, our grass, we're at a time where really I need to mow my grass every 4 to 5 days, but I've only been doing it once a week. There is a guy who mows his lawn like every 3 days,
Yeah,
but he mows it really short.
Yeah.
I've actually been mowing our lawn shorter than I normally mow at this time of year, but I'm trying to keep it lower and let the rest of the yard catch up.
Well, yeah, once the spring is over, we definitely slow down.
Oh yeah, I might have to mow it twice in a week, a couple of times in April and May, and then I've gone July's where I've mowed it once because we get very dry in July.
That hot.
People near you smoke grass.
Fair enough.
Another great quote, and especially for the time and era it was in the late 70s. And a lot of baseball stadiums went from grass to artificial turf. This was when artificial turf stadiums were coming in and all the stadiums. So Tug McGraw got traded from a team where he played on grass, Shea Stadium, the Mets, and he went to the Philadelphia Phillies that played on artificial turf. So somebody asked him a few months into his first season with the Philadelphia team, they said, so what do you prefer, grass or artificial turf? And he says, I don't know, I never smoked artificial turf. Hey, Eric, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, Eric.
You had some cool little N-scale trucks that you got in. Ba-dum-tish. Bada-bing. Another great quote. Far out, man. Yeah, I see it too. You mean like, man, there could be a whole universe inside one atom in my thumb?
Yeah, back to the Kahat. And his guys.
That's one of the Kahat's followers.
Mm-hmm.
The Kahat was that James Mason-like voice.
Right.
Ah, yes. I was too busy doing all his Cat Stevens pun lines.
Oh, right.
I could have done a couple
You
of...
squeezed a lot in.
Of course, I got to drag some big limbs for... Oh, there's that. Kilroy was here. Was he...
Oh, yeah, you've had some good storms, I think, haven't you, Randall? I don't think Missouri's been as bad as last year.
See, now I grew up, my dad would do the Kilroy was here graffiti, if that's what you want to call it. He would occasionally write that on a paper, draw it as a little bit. But I can't hear Kilroy was here anymore without immediately going to Kelly's Heroes. Because they put that on the wall, like, up yours, Maitland, Kilroy was here. What?
I'll give a shim under it. That track just to the closest to your monitor is raised.
Oh, yeah. Oh, how'd that happen?
It's Got a
Oh, well, actually, no, it's meant to do that, but yeah, that shim is slightly out of place.
It moved, yeah.
I wonder if I could take it out now.
Got a weird old bump.
After all these years, could I just take it out? It was originally done as a little bit of weight support.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, that's because the stupid bump here. But I wonder if it got turned around or just over the years moved.
Trains can push it.
Oh, they can bump it along. But yeah, no matter what you do, there's that. I really need to put one here. Or I just need to rip it all out and redo it and level it all again. Had a dead tree in front of it, and the high winds knocked some of the large branches off of it.
Yeah, they killed the tree. It's in the right of way, so it's a city tree. When they did the road, and it is absolutely
He
dead.
snuck in and moved it. Well, that was very good work there. You must have ninja skills, Eric.
So, anyway, yeah, anytime we
Well,
get
you're
a
much
good wind, it
shorter
loses
and
some
faster than
branches.
you appeared when we met you in Columbus.
Well, we need to call the city to take it down.
Yeah, we need to call the city. Speaking of which, yeah, Simon, where did I set? Oh, they're here. So this is what Simon sent.
It's a two-board.
A couple of 2-boards.
Cool.
See, he wanted these,
Uh-huh.
but he had the spare vehicle, so he gave me the vehicles.
Cool.
So
Very
yes, I thought so.
Yeah,
Very nice.
automotive
And his
things.
company paid to ship them, so
Oh.
it's like it didn't cost him anything.
Oh, was nice.
So I'm like, yeah, that was really nice. Yes, I'm always amazed at the generosity, but then again, I try to be generous myself.
Mm-hmm. And your father.
And then the
car.
follow car.
Yeah.
Such a big box for such a little vehicle.
It is indeed.
But I'm hoping this gets my motivation back on.
Me too.
Ninja air fryer.
At least there is no such thing as a ninja.
Yeah,
so-
American GIs left it
Nick was
all
healthy.
over. Collar car system. Although I saw the latest updates from Wiesmann, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I should just. Wow! Wow!
Wow, indeed.
Now let's go to the big cam for a second. All this packaging, and that's all that's
Thanks,
in
Eric.
it. There you go.
Yeah, tiny little vehicle. Thank you, Eric. I just spit it out or something. But yeah, I'm on week 2 of this now.
That's
Oh,
a
no.
tiny
Excited.
little thing, but this is now the smallest little Fowler car, the
Yeah.
smallest of the Fowler cars. So there it is. I got to charge them up.
Who's
Where's the
technology?
charger? I thought I had the. Oh yeah. Come here, you. My new Fowler car charger, which is now USB powered as opposed to the old bipole adapter. So we can just charge this little fella up right now. Yeah, let's do it on this one. Beep, 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 beep. Nothing plugged in. Beep, 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 beep. Nothing plugged in. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, I'm getting there. Okay, now it's reading it. Ah, there we go. Get in there. Okay, now it's reading it. Hey, welcome back, CMD. You put up a cool video, was it last night? Well, it might have been last night for you. Today, watched that earlier. Yeah, we had up to 50 people in. Okay, you're calling it?
Yeah, I'm
All
calling
right.
it, So.
Joyce is leaving.
All right, guys.
This is about all she could handle. I mean,
Take
you're sitting
care.
here. You're sitting here.
Yeah,
and you're
I
going to go
know.
upstairs and sit. How's it any more entertaining?
I need more Kleenex, so it wasn't Märklin.
Ah, well. Poor kid. Choose. Yeah, it's just not the same without her. We'll bounce around some of the big cans again. She just doesn't want to sit here and cough and blow her nose nonstop while on camera. Indeed, indeed. Let's go to the other side. I guess I'll move the mic back to its normal position here. Really? A commercial? Really? Oh, my Lord. But if you guys don't know CMD Models, he posts videos of him running trains running in Austria, specifically in and out of Lint, but then also in South Africa, which I find just amazing. In fact, the video you put up from Basie today, or Basie today, was quite interesting because they went through that tunnel, and that was such a narrow tunnel. That was quite interesting how narrow that tunnel was. One track, and it was just... I just kept waiting for him to scrape aside. And Randall, Joyce and I can't tell you how much fun we are having with Fredo Bagino the Fourth. To think that you really took to that character and have now created a great grandchild that's now a NASCAR racer. Although I would nag you to do one thing. I joked about it on a comment, but I would nag you to do one thing, which is if you are in a race and you do start to lose control or where you start spinning out, you should just have them going, ah, spider! Because I do that. I'm doing it. Every time you're in one of those, oh, got a little loose there, I'm like, oh, spider! Of course, I do it in Fredo's voice. Spider, you shall not give me this time! You damn spiders, you shall not give me this time! Yeah, I've been watching a lot of season 2 again for some reason. It must mean I'm in the mood to start writing. Because I have been just pulled to watching just various episodes. I just watched the season 2 Christmas special, the Krampus one, and was having a bit of a laugh with it. And then I watched the first 2 episodes, first 3 episodes of season 3 as a joke. I've been watching mostly season 2, but I just bounce around because I know the stories, of course. And I was watching the bit where the Four Finger Gang meets. No, man. Your note said, meet by the river, out of the woods. This here is out of the woods. No, I told you to meet at the stream in out of the woods. That's out of the woods over there. No, man, over there is in the woods. This here is out of the woods. How good are the details? I think now I got to go for what? But yeah, it's been going back to that, Randall. It's just been fun. All right, Leslie, thank you for hanging out with us. Always appreciated. And again, great video yesterday. Oh yeah, and yeah, Joyce unfortunately did not stay to say goodbye to everybody. She just needed to get away. Oh, the Hot Wheels Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. Those should be interesting. I have not introduced Cayenne to Transformers yet. I've been trying to work up the courage to introduce him to X-Men. But, like, my daughter dropped him off today because he's been stuck in his house for 2 weeks. He came over last week, Thursday, and that's the only time he has been here. And normally I have him 3 times a week, Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. But Joyce being sick, and then he was sick. He had a cold, just a cold. And with Joyce being sick and home, my daughter but my daughter was like, Dad, could you watch him for Friday? I know you've got your live stream, but could you watch him? I think my daughter, I hope she doesn't think this sounds bad. I think she needed a break from him too. Like, Dad, we've all been stuck in the house for 2 weeks together. He's stir crazy in the house. Could you watch him? But when she brought him over this morning, she was like, he's on punishment, Dad. We're not letting him watch certain shows right now, especially shows with villains, because he's enjoying what the villains do. He's enjoying crashing and bashing, and she's not liking that. She's trying to get him to, because he does enjoy, like, things have to crash. Everything has to crash. And I think that's why he's lost interest in the trains down here until today, because he wants everything to crash. And it's like, we're not crashing trains, buddy. Okay. Eldora is coming up in a couple of races. Probably his best chance to get a win. Okay. And in Neuhausen video, cool. I don't know. Do villains have more fun? I guess it's your perspective. I always wanted to be the good guy. I did not like being the villain in anything. And when my kids and I would play war games, my tabletop games, like when we played Lord of the Rings tabletop games, I usually had to be the bad guys because my kids did not want, they would not play, and Dad wanted them to play. So fine, I'll be the orcs. I'll be the Haradrim. I'll be the bad guys, just so my kids would play. And of course, they all loved to play, and gradually they learned to play the bad guys as well. And we'd split, like, okay, Dad was one of the bad guys last time, so we'll take turns and we'll split up into teams. So it's Dad and daughter Liz against daughter Lynn and son AJ. And we would rotate who was good and who was bad. But early on, they didn't want to be the bad guys. And of course, I didn't like being the bad guys. Because in the end, they're bad guys. They're bad. And I am a Boy Scout at heart. I have my dark sides, but I am the goody two-shoes. There are certain laws that are meant to be broken, like speed limit laws. When I was young, driving cars, I consider them speed suggestions and not limits. You know, like my famous quote when I got pulled over for speeding in northern Michigan on this straight open highway. State trooper pulled me over. I was doing 87 miles an hour, and the speed limit at the time was 65. And he pulled me over, and he says, "Do you know how fast you're going?" I said, "Yeah, I was in the mid-80s." He said, "I clocked you at 87." I said, "Yeah, fair enough." And he says, "I see you're traveling with your family here." Yeah. Well, do you really need to be, why are you going this fast? I say, it's just an open highway. We're trying to get up to northern Michigan. The sooner we get there, the more we can stretch our legs and get into the lake and go swimming and everything and blah, blah, blah. He says, it's a straight road here. I've spent my whole summers driving this highway all the time when I was a kid. And he says, well, you know, we have a lot of, well, if you know this area, you know we have a lot of deer up here. Yes, we do. Although they usually come out just before dawn or early in the evening. He says, yeah, but they do wander about. Do you know what would happen to this car if you hit a deer at 87 miles an hour? And I looked at him, I said, probably about the same thing if I hit it doing 65. And I said, I'm not trying to be a smartass. And he says, fair enough point. And he wrote me for 10 over instead of for 18 over. Or, no, I was 22 over, which was a massive ticket. 10 over was a $100 fine. Now, Joyce wasn't happy with me either way, but he conceded the point. I was like, yeah. Monorail would be cool. But you live in a volcano with okay, now I had to catch up a bit. Yeah, I don't know. Hot Wheels releases so many different chase lines. I mean, Dominic, I'm sure you watch Diecast Dude, right? You're so into Hot Wheels, you got to watch Diecast Dude. I'm subscribed to Diecast Dude as well. We used to talk a lot because he would occasionally do train videos, but I don't talk to him anymore, and it's nothing negative at all. It's just I watch his videos, but I don't comment as much, and because, you know, if he does find, I'll joke with him and go, you finally found some more Dodges, and then he'll laugh back at me, and we'll talk that way. But there was a time where we would talk on every one of his videos and share a couple of lines. But now it's just, my time is, even retired, my time is so much more restricted. I watch his videos, but I don't always comment. Yes, that's what I'm worried about. I think my daughter is too. Cayenne likes chaos. Cayenne has hit Hellion mode. Cayenne has hit the mode where he's looking to do something and waiting for you to see he's about to do it and waiting for you to say no so he can go, yes. Cayenne is at that stage. He's waiting for you to tell him, don't do it, Cayenne, don't you do it. Cayenne, no. And the only way you get him to stop right now is you threaten to take something away. And even that doesn't always work. But Cayenne, no more Paw Patrol. And that was the big thing, because he's big into Paw Patrol. And if you don't know what Paw Patrol is, it's a bunch of rescue dogs that can talk and have powers in some episodes. But yeah, if you have little kids or grandkids, you know what Paw Patrol is probably. But Cayenne is big into Paw Patrol, but he likes to mimic the villain stuff right now. All right, Chris is heading off to bed. Yeah, I'm going to, well, I'm not going to bed, but we're going to do dinner here in a little bit. But yes, Cayenne has definitely hit the, I am up to no good. I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. And like when I've got a bunch of the Paw Patrol action figures here at home, and everything's got to crash. Like, oh, they're going to crash here. Okay, now they're going to crash. Okay, we got to get them back to base. Mission over. And he's driving the car back to base. Crash! Opa, they all crashed. Cayenne, we don't have to have crashes all the time. So she didn't say he couldn't play Paw Patrol today. She just said he couldn't watch it. And some other cartoons where there are good guys and bad guys and things going on. But we played a little Paw Patrol, but I tried to play non-violent, good guy, helpful bits, and he just kept wanting stuff to crash. So a couple times, okay, we're done playing. Oh, Opa, I'm sorry, Opa. I said, no, we're not going to keep crashing everything. Well, there's a type of misbehaving that's fun, and then there's a type of misbehaving that's not fun. It's like Joyce. Joyce will yell at me to behave all the time, and I'll say I am behaving badly. Speaking of behaving badly, oh look, there's cat shit under my train table. I just looked down there now and wondered, what is that? Oh yeah, the cat took a dump down there. Helgian mode. Oh, Hellion mode, right, because we're going with the Dutch pronunciation there. Excuse me, you watch the trains. I've got to take care of something. What's a good angle to watch? Yeah, there you guys can go. No, I've got them blocked from getting on the layout, but oh, I am sick of these cats. I don't like cruelty to animals, but these cats are begging it. Anywhere else? Oh my god, I hate these cats. Well, I don't want outside cats. If we're going to have cats, I want them in the house because, you know, we live in the city, Randall. If we have neighbors within 15 feet on either side of our house, and behind us, and, everywhere, we are a urban dwelling. And I've already got at least 2 neighbors that have outdoor cats that all seem to live in my yard. And then we have other neighbors that have, and then we just have a bunch of feral cats anyhow. I just keep wishing the bald eagles that have moved into our area would start taking out the feral cats. But yeah, that was a big shock. I think it was during COVID while we were still on lockdown. I was out in the backyard off work, and I was just sitting on my deck and staring at the flowers, eating breakfast, and I saw this big brown and white flash go like really low in my backyard. And we don't have a big backyard, so 30 feet away, 40 feet away. And my brain didn't know what it was, and I said, that looked like a bald eagle. And then a little bit later, about 100 feet high up in the air above the trees in our neighbor's yard, it was clearly a bald eagle. I did not know we had bald eagles finally move into our area, and I mentioned to Joyce, yeah, they've been reporting them around Toledo, but I didn't know. I said, we've got bald eagles living in our neighborhood. There is a bald eagle nest at the top of a tree 3 yards down. Andy, that's a good one. Indeed. Oh, they all go for it now and then. Yeah, poor Mrs. Slocum lost her pussy to a eagle. It was sad. No, if I had G-scale, I wouldn't worry about it because I'd run the darn cats over with them. Or 1 scale even. You can get the new Märklin Big Boy in 1 scale for $7,000. Could you imagine that? A Big Boy in 1 scale. Märklin's making it. Big Boy in 1 scale. $7,000. What is for dinner tonight? Pizza. Pizza is for dinner tonight. Yeah, well, that's way out of my budget, too. I ain't that rich. You just had pizza a little bit ago? Yeah, we're going to have Pizza Hut pizza, stuffed crust with really good mozzarella and curried cat. Oh, trust me, if the bald eagle said, hey, I would like some cat with curry on it, I guarantee you the curry would be out of my spice racks on the cats, and the cats would be out the door faster than you can say Jackie Robinson. Because I will do no harm to these animals, but if nature wants to let nature happen at this stage, I'm all for it. I feel bad because, you know, they're our pets. We picked them. We brought them to our house, but we were kind of lied to about their situation. The rescue place because we always buy rescue pets. And we've always lucked out. Our dogs have been rescue mutts. Our previous cat we had for 20 years was a rescue cat. But these two, they're just psychotic. Oh, that's cool, Raymond. At least you can work something out with it. Wasn't expecting the P word. Get a feral dog. Oh my God. No, to be honest, Mick, the bald eagles are enough. I haven't had to do it this year, but the last couple of years since the bald eagles have moved in, I have had to, after some of the winter thaws, go up behind my garage and clean up the remaining carcasses because they apparently occasionally eat them behind my garage. Whatever they've caught, I have had to clean up squirrel, feral cats. And yeah, I've had to get rid of the carcasses. Not fun. The 1 scale one, Raymond, 16 kilograms. So yeah, about 36, 37 pounds. Boy, I would think it would weigh more than that. Because, I mean, that's not even an LGBG scale. It is Märklin's 1 scale. Buy a dinner bell for the Eagles. You can't lift that. Yeah, and our buddy Dino can't lift that either. Like I said, to any of you that are ailing, you know, the ones that are consistently dealing with health issues, but so many people in the last couple of weeks, I spent a rainy afternoon trying to catch up with a bunch of videos from the last couple of weeks, and I'll admit I'm watching 3 videos at a time sometimes, one on the TV, one on the computer, one on the phone, just trying to catch up and get a gist for what's going on in the video. Sometimes rewatching them. Like Clive, when Clive from Newland does his videos, I have to watch his by themselves. I can't watch them in unison because Clive says things and mentions a couple of things that you miss if you're not focusing on Clive. You have good news that you'll hear. Share. Cool. Well, that's good news. You know, so with Joyce being sick and me talking about Joyce being sick, to find out so many other people are sick, and in some cases, you know, it makes pneumonia, which is not a simple thing, just makes it pale in comparison to what other people are going through. Well, share away, Eric. Good news is there's always a good time for good news. "29 people, chat rate down to 1. Wow, we're already over 200 views. That's cool. Oh, that is good news. Oh, that's wonderful good news. The people who need them and the people who donate, because Joyce and I are both full donors. Eyes, anything that they can use out of our bodies, they can have when Joyce or I pass. We are donating everything. Joyce and I we have those living will situations, and I only have one kidney to give. Joyce has 2. But anything they can take, liver, heart, transplants, whatever. And I'm a universal donor. My blood type, I am the universal donor. So when I die, I'm not going to use it anymore. They can have. All right, Mick, what's your good news? The next round's on the house. Haven't talked enough about that Amtrak IC3, but I guess I talked a lot about it last week, but it is cool. The bar's still open. Okay. Well, as one of the nights of the Ron Boyd table, but it's in my house tonight. Next round is on me. Belly up to the bars, friends. Belly up to the bars. Yeah, we're probably getting close to last call because, yeah, it's about that time. And I so want to have that experience. I want to go to a pub, get to know some people, have a great time, and thank them by saying, next round's on me. I really want to do that. Just like to buy everybody a beer or whatever they're drinking. I have that desire on Gets. I was so looking forward to Gets, to meet so many of these people that have been so kind and nice and supportive of my channel over the years. I know I got to meet people like Alan and Leslie and Carl, Bangotcha Junction, and Richard Brown, Andy from March West Junction. I got to meet so many people. Robert from Robert's Train Sets. I got to make sure I don't forget anybody because I'll feel guilty as all hell. But, yeah, it was a, you know, I tried to buy everybody lunch, and they all were like, no, 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 no. You know, it was like, oh, come on, you got to let me do it. You got to, and it's on me, you know. And, you know, they were like, no, nope, nope. And like, okay, you know. But, but it's just, you know, it's such an amazing experience. And when you meet these people, like we did at York, as well as Jim at his house, Philip Page at Wigan, just between trains. They are such special memories. And Joyce and I really were looking forward to Getz. And so I mean, obviously we got Australia and hanging out with Artie. That's our vacation. But we are looking forward to the trip to the UK because we know so many of you. And we like all of you. And we're so looking forward to that, to just be able to shake hands and share a moment. Of course, the sad part is there's going to be so many people there, you can't, you know, you can't spend the time you'd like to spend with them all. You're going to get to say, hi, well, you know, nice to meet you. Okay. Oh, hey, nice to meet you too. Oh, great to, you know, oh, great, great, great. You know, maybe get a quick handshake or hug in, and it's all, and that might be all there's time for. You know, there are some people that, you know, stay at the hotels or meet at the pubs afterwards, and that's what we were really looking forward to. And now that there's going to be 2 shows and the crowd is going to be split, some are going to Stratfold and some are going to Getz, Joyce and I have said we're going to try to do both. We're going to try to go up to Stratfold and say hello to people, and then try to hit Getz and meet people. But we're going to stay in Milton Keynes and be at the Getz for all 4 days. But one of those days we'll get up early and either rent a car, or maybe somebody says, hey, we'll drive, and, you know, we'll pay for gas or something. And we'll just, because they said it's an hour and a half by car if you take the M1. Hour and a half by car, but it's 6 hours by train. That doesn't make sense. But we'll look into it. You're the outsider guy. You suck. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would be... I don't care what they said about me afterwards. But if some, you know, like if I were to go to American Train Show, you know, just show up at Train Show wearing my Model Train Outsider shirt like this, and somebody said, hey, it's the Model Train Outsider, I've seen your channel, I'd be like, yes. And then they'd go, you suck. Like I said at the beginning of the live stream, it would be like Captain Jack Sparrow when the British commander goes, you are the worst pirate I have ever heard of. Ah, but you have heard of me. You are the worst YouTube channel I've ever seen. Ah, but you have seen me. So anyhow, in that regards, it is 6 o'clock here, which means it is midnight for those on the continent. It is 11 o'clock in the UK. It is 3 p.m. on the West Coast. But it is time for me to, sadly, once again, end this live stream until next Friday. And on behalf of Joyce, hopefully she'll be better and able to hang out longer next Friday. I'm sure she'll be better. But pneumonia does take a while to recover. We're going to say, Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains. Take care, everybody. It's wonderful to have you all here. Bye, all.